What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today, BCH USD. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. Hit that like button and subscribe. Thank you all for being here. It's the 20th day of January, and here we are at about $570. And it seems as though at one point we actually had a lot of volume here. And as we are bleeding down, it's not that it's just decreasing, it's gone. I mean, what we've experienced here over the past 5 days is both the lowest price action that we've seen in probably about a month's time, and the lowest levels of volume that we've seen since November, since the middle of November, in 2 months' time. It's the lowest levels of volume that we've seen since our last low here. So to me, it doesn't really make sense that we would continue to drop, but we are continuing to drop here. With that being said, I'm a little bit skeptical if we find support here and if we move up. It doesn't necessarily make sense to do that by the way of the fibs, but we could find support here. There's plenty of reasons to do so. Prior support here, prior resistance there, and support right there, support and resistance, support right here, resistance right here, right, resistance right there. It's all in this semi-significant level of turbulence that we've been experiencing since July of 2025 and around here. We can go lower, though. We absolutely can go lower, even with this lack of volume. The lack of volume doesn't mean that we can't go lower. It just means we're probably not going to do this, and it's probably not going to be long-lived. And when we come back, we're probably going to eat it whole, right? When you have low levels of volume, you have no problem eating that area whole. Literally in one day, we just bam, you know what I mean? I guess 2 days, technically. If we're looking at this by way of the fibs, from a low to a high, just by the fibs, if I was just making fib videos, I've honestly thought about just making videos where all I do is pull up fibs on different scales and then end it there. Do like a 2-minute video just with fibs and see how those predictions go. Nothing else, just using fibs, because I swear fibs are, they're scary how accurate they are. It's weird how it works. The reason why it works, there's a whole lot of theories behind it, I suppose. I'm of the theory of the foo-foo nonsense theories, like it's the code to the universe, it's the Fibonacci ratio, it's the golden ratio, it's the God code, right? It's something that we just see reoccurring in the universe. So these levels are playing off of these, call them anomalies or consistencies in the universe that we see in nature, in psychology, in intergalactic, interstellar galaxy spirals. We see the golden ratio, we see essence of the Fibonacci ratios everywhere, retracements and extensions, mountain ranges, whatever. But beyond that, beyond the foo-foo nonsense stuff, which is what I believe in. I call it foo-foo nonsense as a joke. To me, it's not nonsense. I believe in it. I'm a very spiritual person, but and I believe that the universe does speak to us, that God does speak to us, and that if that's the case, math is probably the most likely language, or music. But music is just pretty math, anyways. At the end of the day, I'm on a whole different note here, but hear me out. If you don't like that, at least get on board with this. Human beings, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. We're aware of these levels, so therefore they have significance. We program our bots, our trading bots, our market-making bots with these Fibonacci extensions and retracement levels into their algorithm. So whether it is significant, quote-unquote, which I think it is significant, or it's just something that we've made significant, it's significant either way. With that being said, high to low, man, whole little spiel there on fibs. High to low, where we are here does not make sense to find support right here. Typically, if you find support at the 382 and then you reject the 236 like we did here, and you come back down to the 382 like we did here, you go to the 0.5 at least, if not the golden ratio. So being here at 571, even with less volume, I'm tempted to say that we're going to bounce here. And I want to look at the short-term stuff. Maybe there's signals that will tell us that we bounce here. But prepare for 553. I know, it's super scary. Or at worst, 510. But likely something in between there. 553, 510. We're at 572. Prepare for that probably over the next week, I would think. I don't think that it's going to be a quick drop down as much as I wish it was. I wish we just had a day like this where it was a quick drop and then we're done and we can recover. But it's probably going to take about a week. And then going into the very last days of January, maybe we see some recovery. We'll see. Let's get into it. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame and then we'll zoom out from there. But that's just an opening idea, okay? I'm certainly not worried about this at all. We are breaking through here, but there's just no volume. There's no volume at all. It's crazy. And maybe this would be better fit, you know, something like this. Let's see. I feel like something like that is a little bit better fit right there. Anyways, maybe this is the most appropriate line right here, and we do slip out of it, but I was trying to get all the touch points there. Anyways, let's look at the short-term stuff. We'll zoom back out. 1 hour time frame. A lot of volume at the low. A lot of volume at the low. A lot of volume at the low. Looks like there's buying pressure going on, guys. A lot of buying pressure. That's just my opinion. And then the opinion of the charts too, because from these lows we've had very just intense reactions, as if there's like a sudden shift up from like intense buying pressure. We do have a little bit of bearish or bullish divergence on the 1 hour RSI, stochastics, and the MACD, so that's nice. Bullish divergence on the 1 hour can be good. That doesn't mean that we go through the roof. It just, you know, we fulfill the needs of the divergence, which if we come up to like 580, 585, we've fulfilled the needs of these bullish divergences across the scale. So we can see a little bit of a move up. It can still be a lower high, and we can still move down afterwards. So don't get too excited if we do move up after this. Okay, 4 hour time. You know what? You can get excited. You can get excited, and I will get excited when we are back above, let's say, this level here. Let's go. Let's raise the bar a little bit right here, because resistance, support, resistance, resistance, resistance back here. 625. Let's just say 625. When we get back above there, then we can get excited. Anything in between, we could pump all the way up just above $600 and still come down, right? It's just noise until then. We might be in an A, B, C correction. We haven't even formed our B or C leg yet, so I don't care if we come up this high. I'm not excited till we're above 625. 4 hour time frame. Again, the 1 hour has bullish divergence on the MACD, on the RSI. Does it have it on the stochastics too? A little bit of bullish divergence on the stochastics as well. I don't know if that counts because the orange is lower, but whatever. Bullish begettings here. That doesn't mean that it's like this. It could. Maybe it could. But I would just more expect a little bit of a move here. Probably doesn't even take us above 590. Probably. If we get above 590, that's not exciting. 625, that's exciting, yes. 4 hour time frame, we look at the RSI. Very oversold. The most oversold that we've been on the 4 hour since October. Since October. What happened in October? Well, we were at the lows of our range, right? Like if we treated it like this, the last time that we were this oversold or more was back here. So if we just look at it like this, we were in this downtrend, this little downtrend here. Things are picking up. The volume is gone, though. There's like really not that much volume at all. And then afterwards, we moved sideways, or I guess we moved up a little bit here. If I can speed it up, I will. Let's see. We'll speed it up a little bit, right? You move up a little bit, sure, whatever, but really the whole point here is that you're moving sideways, right? You moved sideways. You moved up, you moved down, you moved sideways. This lasted from October 20th till November 21st. You moved sideways for about a month, and then you started to progress. Then you started to form an upward sloping channel. I don't think that from here, being that we're in similar readings to what we were here when we started this sideways zone, I don't think that we're just going to move sideways for another month. If we do, cool, whatever. Let's just chalk it up to another month that we've been consolidating in this area. You know what I mean? Since July of 2025. Chalk it up there. I don't think that's what it means, but what I'm getting to is that being this oversold, we're not likely to just rip out of here, right? There's some damage that's been done. Very mild damage, but we're going to have to configure ourselves. We're going to have to spend some time doing that, and then we can break out and go higher. The way I have it drawn there, that'd be like we break out in the middle of February. Maybe it is the middle of February. Maybe it's earlier than that. I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit later. But I just don't expect that from here we're going to do what we did all of these times and then just move up immediately. I don't expect that. I expect we're at the point here where we probably move sideways for a little bit. Maybe it's upwards, sideways a little bit. Maybe it's upwards, then downwards, then upwards, then downwards, which is the same thing as moving sideways, and then we move up. But at some point, really what it's going to take is time before we start to rally. That's my thoughts. 4 hour RSI, bearish. You don't get this bearish. You don't get below the 20 typically, and it's just a one-time thing, right? Typically, there's more to come. Even if you get a higher low, there's still more to come, typically. The MACD is bearish. The stochastics are bearish. Nothing good looking here, which that's fine. You're typically your worst at your worst. Daily RSI, man. I'm incredibly disappointed with the daily RSI. This thing has been teasing us for months, literally for months, giving us the impression that we were going to go to the overbought zone every single time, and we just didn't do it. Maybe I should have listened more whenever we rejected the overbought zone, whenever we should have, quote unquote, should have gotten up there. Should have listened to it more, or at least listened to the breakout of this trend. Anyways, it's too late now. Here we are down here. We're all the way down to the oversold areas. Again, very, very close. This is the closest that we've been to the same readings that we had at our low points here. Does this mean that we're at our low? No. Did it mean that we were at our low here? No. We still went a little bit lower. But we're in that area nonetheless. We're in that vicinity. And again, throwing the fibs on here from a low to a high, the expectation here is that we go to 553 or somewhere around there. Bitcoin Cash actually really does like to find support just below its 0.5 and above its golden ratio. So something between 526 and 553. I wouldn't normally say that, but for Bitcoin Cash, that's just what it likes to do for whatever reason. But if we do go down to the golden ratio, 523, 510 could be the worst case scenario. We probably don't go below $500 though. The MACD, in all fairness, you're right at an area where you'd expect to bounce. The stochastics are reset, you're oversold there, and the RSI is even kind of at a place to bounce as well. You do like to hold this area. I mean, you found support at this area several times in your past, right here, right? You've certainly held this area up well before. You could do it now, but based off the 4-hour and the 1-hour time frame, and then just based off my opinion with the fibs, I would think that we go a little bit lower. 550 probably awaits for us. We'll see if we go lower than that, but that's a great buy the dip opportunity. Nothing more, nothing less. I got nothing else to say, guys, so hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll be proven wrong. We're not going to 550. We're not going to 510. We're not going anywhere in that range at all. I'll be proven wrong if we, come on, man. What's going on here? It was supposed to be up already. If we get above, it says 620. I'd like to see 625. 620 is great. If we can close above 620, I'll be convinced. How about that? If we close a day above 620, that's good enough. But if we get above 625 at all, I don't care if it's a close or not, I'm going to be bullish. But until then, I'm bearish. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being, or at least I'm bearish until we get to 550, and then I'll become bullish again, or maybe 526. Technically, the green line's at 553, so don't hurt me for $3 difference there. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.